What's going on, guys? So in today's video, I'm gonna talk to you about fasting. I'm gonna talk to you about my fasting schedule, why I started fasting, and some of the benefits that I experienced from fasting in hopes that you can incorporate some of these things in your weight loss journey. In 2021, I was 265 pounds and I got all the way down to 187 pounds. And the game changer for me by far was managing calories. If it wasn't for that, I would not be where I am today. I was working out, I was going to the gym like many of you, I was lifting weights, I was doing cardio, but the scale was actually going up for me. One of the things that I found to be very beneficial was fasting. I think a lot of people, when they talk about fasting, they are kind of indoctrinated by it in a way where it's like, okay, well, are you intermittent fasting? And they have all these specific rules around how you should fast, why you should fast. They may even overestimate the benefits of fasting, although there are many benefits. A lot of people that are indoctrinated by it really overestimate some of the benefits you get from it. Me personally, I use fasting as a way to manage my calorie intake. That's it. When I first started fasting, early in my weight loss journey, I was not fasting every day. Basically, I would only fast on the days where I knew that I was going to be eating a cheat meal. And that would normally be Friday. So what fasting was for me was I was not eating lunch. I would eat breakfast, I wouldn't eat lunch, and then I would eat dinner, and the dinner would normally be a cheat meal. So why did I do that? Well, first of all, I didn't want to give up breakfast because I go to the gym and train for breakfast. I go to the gym and train in the morning, so I didn't want to give up that time to get the nutrients in after working out. And secondly, fasting lunch, it was just easier for me to do. So it was just an easier way for me to, that was the easiest meal that I could give up, was lunch. And so that's why I chose lunch. And then normally for dinner, that was the time that I would actually want to go eat a cheat meal, was for dinner. I didn't want to eat a cheat meal for breakfast. So lunch was the most convenient meal to skip. And I was doing that pretty often. Pretty much every week I was doing that early in my weight loss journey. And so my weight went from 265 down to about 230 by the end of August. So it took me about 8 months to get down to about 230 pounds from 260. So I lost a lot of weight. I'm sorry, 220. I got down from 265 to 220 in about 8 months. So I lost a decent amount of weight following that fasting protocol. And then in the fall of that year, I ended up taking a break from dieting and counting calories and all of that. Although I was still eating a lot of the same foods, I wasn't counting the calories like meticulously like I was the early part of the year. And then in the first part of 2022, that's when I implemented another fasting strategy, which was basically to do this fasting lunch thing every single day. So the reason I did that is because I was later into the phase of my weight loss, and so I was getting closer to my goal. And if anybody knows anything about weight loss, you hit plateaus along the way and that sort of thing. You have to reduce the calories. So fasting lunch basically was a way for me to overcome the plateau of getting down to about 220 and not being able to lose any weight. So I started doing the fasting every day thing the closer I got to my goal that I wanted to achieve. And so having said that, what are the benefits of fasting? Well, number one, a lot of people have trouble counting calories. I don't understand why, but they do. It's a problem. A lot of people just find it hard to do. If you're giving up a meal, then it's going to be a little easier for you not to have to count the calories, because you're probably going to be in a deficit not eating. The only problem is if you have a lot of weight to lose, you're going to run into problems with that as you go along, because once you hit a plateau, if you're not you're not eating lunch, you can't reduce the calories by much without not eating. So I don't recommend fasting as a daily thing for people that are just starting out trying to lose weight, because you're going to have this issue of hitting a plateau and then not being able to overcome it because you can't cut calories. And so the way I did it was I started off the first part of my weight loss journey only fasting 1 day a week, which would be for the cheat meal day. And then from there, I got my weight down to a point where I was around 220 pounds, took a diet break. Then I came back with the fasting thing, but I did it as a daily thing the closer I got to my goal. That's basically how I got to where I am today. You don't have to stick with one fasting method. Some people swear by intermittent fasting. I believe the approach I took was more of a flexible fasting approach because I'm giving up a meal. And so ultimately what I'm doing is I'm figuring out what works best for me and for my schedule, and for what I'm doing, and I'm coming up with a fasting protocol based upon that. So to summarize, do I recommend fasting for people who have a lot of weight to lose in the beginning? Not daily, maybe once a week. If you really want to burn calories, the closer you get to your weight loss goal, then maybe a daily fasting regimen would be good, which is what I did. So having said all of that, thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, please share. Hopefully you got some valuable information out of this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Y'all take it easy. Peace.